Favorite actor to act with has got to be Max Beers. Like I was saying before, our natural chemistry, just as friends, it was fun to play that out here. One of my favorite things about Letterman is the fact that we're kind of stepping into these roles of, teenagers in high school, and we are teenagers in high school, so it was pretty easy to kind of assume that role, especially assuming just the chemistry between Felix and Sebastian to be much as the chemistry between me and Max.
I think probably Max Beers is one of the funnest people to work with. Sometimes he doesn't make sense, but he's still extremely funny and very nice, and he always knows how to make people feel welcome. Like, I don't think he would ever turn away from anyone while acting or if they were working with him on a film.
Oh man, if Max Beers wasn't Felix Becker, I have no idea who else would have been. I think I was asked this question just casually at another time, and I genuinely don't know who else would play it. The chemistry between Sebastian and Felix would be very different. I don't know who else would play it. He did a wonderful job. I think he was the perfect fit for the role.
I think that John is probably the least like Sebastian. I mean, he's not a jock in any sense of the word. He in his if you've ever met him, he's applying to West Point. He talks a lot about not having a varsity letter and how that might be detrimental to his application. Whereas Sebastian is very jockey. He's kind of the archetype of a jock, right? He's all sports. I don't really care about school. John cares a lot about school. He's the president of like every honor society at Monticello. He's boy genius, and it was kind of funny because John typically gets cast in these heart of gold kind of characters, where this time around there was a little more complexity to Sebastian than his past characters like Luther or anything like that. I think John still played it well, but he was not playing himself like most other people in the movie.
One thing, a lot of people doubted themselves a lot. For example, Iona, she definitely doubted every time, every shot she would think like, it's not quite right. I think there needed to be more confidence there. And almost, you can see that as well with Jack and his character. He just didn't feel entirely comfortable at first playing his character. Because, at first Justin Boyle was just a skin deep, shallow jock. He wasn't meant to be a very complex character the way that he was written. And so kind of seeing Jack like work with different voices, different mannerisms and stuff like that, it was really interesting to see him come into that character and make it his own by playing it for more time.
Jack Kircher is definitely the most interesting guy to work with on the film because he takes on a different aspect of his personality in every film. He gets kind of macho when he's acting, and it's really fun to see. Like, you'll notice a lot of people have told me, why does that guy never have his shirt on? And that's Jack. Like, that's just Jack. That's what he does. He works at a butcher's shop. He's a great guy. He's hilarious to work with. My brother, when he watched the movie, he has never seen any of our movies before, and he was kind of like, yeah, that was actually really good. The guy who played Justin was hilarious because just he never had a shirt on, and there's this shot of Jack where he's petting his dog and drinking what's supposedly jungle juice at the pre-prom party. And if anybody's ever met Jack, they're like, yeah, he's playing himself, but like a very specific part of himself, because there's a lot more to him in person. He's a funny guy. I like him a lot. But when he's acting, he takes on a role and he takes it however far he's allowed to push it. And it is awesome. I was pretty happy with the way I acted because, I was playing myself, so I felt a lot more at home with Felix than I did any other character I'd acted in. If you've ever seen Home of the Brave, it's like I'm playing a lieutenant in the army, and if you've ever met me, I'm not macho. I'm not a man's man in any sense of the word. I drive a Prius,
My favorite part about playing Elaine was probably getting to be a little bit sassier than I normally am. Like, I feel like I got to make some pretty quick remarks towards Sebastian and Felix, which was kind of fun because I feel like I'm I wouldn't normally say those things as myself. So it was pretty fun to play someone else.
So I don't really actually have any formal training at all. I don't take drama at high school at Monticello, and I haven't acted in any school plays other than Shakespeare, which is still student run, so it's kind of the same thing as this, honestly. If you watch our movies, you can see each one gets progressively better, acting, story, cinematography wise. They all, like, everybody just gets a little more practice in. And so I don't know any formal techniques as far as acting goes. I only know what I've learned from past movies. And that's pretty fun. I mean, because, you know, you get to grow alongside the movies as an actor. And I mean, I like to think I act well, but you know, somebody from Juilliard might watch it and say, that guy sucks. But I think that for intensive purposes, since we are acting as teenagers, it's best that we act as teenagers.
So my first experience on set was really awesome. Everyone was extremely welcoming, and no one was really hard on me for those lines that I had a lot of trouble with, which was really nice because I was really nervous about messing up. And for the whole movie, I was pretty nervous about messing up or not being very good at acting. But everyone was extremely welcoming and giving me tips about how to remember lines or how to bring out different emotions, and that really helped me. And I really want to act in another film maybe sometime because it was really a welcoming environment that I would want to come back to.
I mean, the biggest challenge I came into while playing Felix was probably just the size of the role. You know, every movie we've produced so far has been an hour or less, and this one was coming out to be 90. And so there was a lot of days where we'd stay after school and a lot of days where we would have to move our schedules around. And quite frankly, the fact that I had a car made that about 1,000,000 times easier, but it was still a bit of a challenge sometimes to try and schedule everybody at the same time.
I started acting when I was in 7th grade, and I was in the Shakespeare production of Macbeth. I don't even know why I tried it out. I just kind of on a whim decided to. I had a lot of fun with it, and through it, that's how I met Luca. I don't know how long he'd been interested in making a movie before then, but that's when he kind of pulled me into the fold. And with a bunch of people, we tried to make this movie. It was entitled Choice. It fell apart for a variety of reasons, and I kind of fell out from acting then. I got re-involved kind of going into freshman year of high school. Luca came to me, and I had these doubts because of how poorly organized everything was the first time we did it. But again, on a whim, I just decided, let's give it a shot. And I'm so glad I did that. I had a great time, even though the movie that was made was not spectacular. You know, I just had such a good time getting along with these people, and I realized how much I love acting and love making movies. And now that we've made Letterman, kind of seeing it on screen, there are so many parallels with Choice, with that original foray into filming. We've come a long way as a group of people. Not many actors have actually kind of been held out from that original production. But to come so far and to make these improvements, all because of a whim, you know? I got involved because of a whim. And because of that, I've met fantastic people. I've been a part of productions that I've been so very proud to show my friends and my family. It's become a big part of who I am, acting, and all of that because of a whim. And I'm really grateful for it. So come on out, give it a shot.